Good evening, everyone. This is the day 10 of MERN series. I'm Naveen Kumar, and today we'll see how we can basically create the auth system to authenticate the user, and we'll also test our authentication in our books router. Uh, and why do we need that? Well, simply let me tell you something that if you till this point we were successfully able to test our API and we were also able to create the books as well. But have I mentioned that are we logged in while we were creating the books? No, absolutely not. So if the user is logged in, then we then they should create their own books, not the other one. So, but till this point, uh, have I mentioned this? Have I told you that were we creating our only were we creating the books only by the users when the user logged in? No. So we'll see we'll see this today. So let me start to share my screen first. So let me walk you through that. So this is my uh, just a second. Let me close this. Yeah. So my server has been started here, and this is the stage 7. We were successfully able to perform the CRUD operations, and also uh, we were till this point we were also able to register the user and log in when we want to. But there is today we'll create the auth system. We'll create the auth system for authentication, and we'll verify that token which we basically get when we logged in. So let me just open my Postman. Let's say I'll open my Postman and I'll show you something that when we logged in, we'll get the token. But I didn't even use that token in when we were creating the books. So I'll say, let me start to show you something. Just a second. I think this is for the card and this is for the, yeah. This is till this point we were successfully able to see those API. And now let's say this. Yeah, this one. You can see that I was able to I was able to log in the users. And if I wanted to log in, let me just take this if it is registered. No, it is not registered. So first I need to register that. So I'll go to the user and I'll say sign up. And if I send a post request, so I think this is something a different route. Uh, so I'll delete this. Let me delete this one and let me delete this one as well. Yeah. And let's start to create the basically. Let me just log in first. So I'll say I'll go to the body. I'll say uh, let's register first and we'll use it then. So I'll say register. Let me check my user route. So first I'll go to the user router. We'll see what kind of router we have created. So yeah, just sign up and I'll also check my user scheme, that is username and the password. So I'll say sign up. I'll hit this endpoint user and I'll go to my server.js and I'll check. Yeah, it is user. So I'll go to this and I'll say I'll send a body and I'll say let's say the should be username should be username should be let's say Yukta. And I'll say name or let's say we create an email Yukta let's say yukta@gmail.com, and then I'll say I'll create a password because we are registering here. So I'll say yukta 123, and if I hit enter, you can see that I'm successfully able to register this. And now let's log in, and I'll show you that we were when we logged in, we will get our token. So I'll simply just hit this API, and I'll copy this because we only need the email and password to log in. So uh, I'll create a body. Inside this, I need a JSON file. So I'll copy this, and when I hit enter, now you can see that I'm getting a token here. It is basically when the user register, they send a payload in the JSON web token, which will encrypt your payload in the form of this token. And today we'll only basically verify that token, and I'll also show you that how we can decode this token. So you can also be sure that we can basically decode the encrypted password and whatever the token we want. So let me just create one folder. So for this, I'll say I need to create one middleware. So I'll say middleware. I'll create a middleware directory, and I'll simply create a file that is auth middleware.js. Inside this, I need to basically create one. I need to create a middleware. So I'll say JWT, and I need to import it. So I'll say require JSON token, and now I'll create a async function that is, let's say auth. Its name is auth, and I'll say async. I'll create a request response till this, and I'll basically take a variable one. I'll create a try catch block, and let's say let me just get the token first. So when we log in the user, and when we want to basically authenticate a user, we need a token to verify that the user is authenticated and they are basically accessing the books router. So to get those, we need a token from the request, and it will come from the request dot headers. So and when we authorize the token, then we'll get the token. So I'll say token is equals to request dot, I'll say headers dot authorization dot split, and I'll simply say let's say it should be index one. And why I mentioned this index one, I'll show you. So let's see how we can verify the token. So I'll go to this. I've already Google it. So we'll go to the JSON web token documentation, and let's check that how we can verify the token. So let's see something how we can verify the token. Um, till this point, we were able to assign the token, and this is for assigning the token. And yeah, this is to verify the token. It is the syntax to verify your token, and either you can basically do that in a synchronous manner, or you can do this in a asynchronous manner as well. So I'll take this in an asynchronous manner, and I'll use this. I'll simply check first if my token if my token is true, if my token exists, then I'll simply use this syntax inside this try catch block, and I'll say if my token is verified, uh, token is true, I'll verify the token, and I'll pass my token here, and here I need to pass my security. So I have my security key already. I only need to import it. So I'll say process dot env dot. Now, what is the name of your security key? I've already stored it in my env file. So I'll say security key. and I'll go to my authentication middleware. I'll simply use this name. But to import this security key, you also need to provide the .env. So I'll say .env. You need to import it and config. You need to call the config after this. Let me just. Okay, good. So till this point, we were successfully able to allow the get the token, and but are we testing this token? So I'll say I'll basically take this and I'll console log this token. When we'll hit the API, we'll get our token. So I'll test this. So and let's say if I don't get any token, so I'll say res dot status. And I'll say 401. Or let me just handle the error here. If the token is not exist, so I'll say else. I'll say res dot status 401. And I'll say JSON. I'll pass a message here. After this, I'll say the token is not found or token is not valid. But let's say token is not found, and it will handle the error which is necessary. So I'll say rest of status. I'll say JSON. I'll pass a message, error.message. Yeah. At this point, we are able to create a middleware, but we need to basically use it as well. So I'll say module.expose auth, and I'll go to my books router, and I'll simply use it in my books router.get method. So I'll say auth, and I'll import this, and let's test this. So yeah, when I'll hit this, you see that I'm able to log in here. So now I need to use it. So let's go to the API, and this is my get method. So I'll go to the headers and pass authorization. I'll say authorization, and why have I used the index one after the split? So it will take an array. So I'll say bearer. I'll pass a bearer, and after this I'll simply paste my token. So it will take it in a form of array, and the zeroth index is your bearer, and on the first index it will be your token. And if I hit this, let's see why what happened. So there is a catch. When you are creating your auth middleware, after verifying your token, you need to provide the next. So it will go to the next async function. Why I'm passing this next? Because when you're authenticated, it will your middleware basically allow you to access this after the authentication. So let's test this API again, and now it should work. Yeah, now we are able to access our books. So till this point, we are able to build the auth system, but uh, I'll show you something on tomorrow but on verbally basis, I'll basically mention this here in this video. So let's say if I'm able to log in, if this is the user, that is the Yukta, but if I'm able to log in, I'm the Naveen. If I want to log in, am I able to update the Yukta's documents or books? Definitely, yes. And why I'm telling you, because it is it is it is possible till this point, because I'm not I'm I'm still not even authorized person to access Yukta's books, but still I'm able to update her books. And for that we need an authorization, and I'll show you practically why we need this on tomorrow. So till this point, thank you everyone.